You're probably familiar with the big five whiskey-making countries of the US, Scotland, Ireland, Canada, and Japan. But whiskey is made worldwide, and many other countries are now becoming well known for their own liquid gold. Beyond Scotland and Ireland, you'll see many European countries making their own single malt whiskey. And while France is known for its exquisite wines and brandies, despite the French having only been distilling whiskey in earnest since the 1980s, today there are over 80 whiskey distilleries in the country. Back in the UK, the first Welsh whiskey distillery to open in over 100 years involves the Prince of Wales himself. Back in 2004, Prince Charles helped open Penderyn Distillery. 2 years later, the opening of St. George Distillery made it the first registered distillery in England in over a century. Other European whiskeys include Italy's Pugni Distillery, which uses malted barley, malted wheat, and malted rye in its production. Up in Sweden, you can sip locally at Mackmyra Distillery, which uses Swedish raw materials whenever possible. Looking at Asia, you'll find several Indian whiskey brands to explore. While India has been distilling other spirits for some time now and distilling whiskey for some of its blends, the country only recently started to specialize in single malt. Heading west, Israel's first distillery called Milk and Honey was founded in 2012 under the guidance of the late Dr. Jim Swan. Down in Australia, Starward Whiskey is known for putting Australian wine barrels to use in maturation. And finally, our friends south of the border have recently gotten into whiskey production. The most current Mexican whiskey brands to hit our shores is Abasolo. It's also said to be the first distillery devoted fully to Mexican whiskey, as well as the first 100% corn whiskey from Mexico. To learn more about the wide world of whiskey, head on over to distiller.com.